Between the time light enters your eyes and you see the world, there is a delay. It only amounts to a few milliseconds, and it's never really mentioned as being anything very significant. But in those few milliseconds, that delay, it's an insight that can flip your whole worldview upside down. You see, when light enters the eyes, that's the end of the story of the light science is talking about. From there, there's a signal going up to your brain. It's getting processed. It's no longer light. It's the exchange of ions, electrochemical activity. And at some point, a threshold is reached. And then there's the experience of that activity. It is the brain activity that is seen. You experience it. So the light that you see is not really the light the scientists are talking about. What science is talking about is light as a mode of transmission of information. And that is right in its own domain. But what you call light is this right in front of you. This brightness, these colors, what makes things visible, what illuminates your whole world. And that light, because of that delay, you can be certain that that light is something very different. This is the light that illuminates your whole world, and even your dreams. In fact, dreams make it much more mysterious and obvious how this light doesn't really depend on an external source. This is not the light of the sun. This is the light of consciousness. This is what the sages have been talking about for thousands of years. They were being quite literal, you see. This light in front of you, shining in plain view, this is the light of consciousness. It cannot be any other light. Because all the other stuff, it's something external, something beyond perception. And when things are actually perceived and seen or felt or heard, all of that is being made possible by the light of consciousness. But let's stick with the visual side of this, because it can be honed into a very beautiful reminder of the true nature of things in the day-to-day business of life. So let's consider colors. You see, the human eye, it can only detect 3 colors, most human eyes: red, green, and blue. Those are the kind of photosensitive cells a human eye has. And so when you see pink or purple or yellow, that requires a lot of brain activity to conjure up those colors. But then, does the brain have any tools to send that bit of yellow over there? It doesn't. It's not possible. But it's happening. What makes it possible can't just be this lump of meat inside a skull, sitting in the dark. What brings those colors to life? What makes it possible for them to exist over there? Is that consciousness pervades here and there. The brain activity is being perceived as yellow over there. And you may not feel any difference immediately, but if you let this understanding sink in, you'll see that the ideas of internal and external will stop making that much sense. And then one day it will hit you that there is no inside or outside, that it's all really one. But that may create in you a new yearning, Because now you found your true love, consciousness, life itself, sentience. What you love unconditionally, no matter how much pain it brings, you still want it. If only things were not so disruptive, you cannot help but love consciousness. And so you will question, where does this light come from? What is the true source of light? This is not the light of the sun. It is the light that makes the sun perceivable. So what is the true source of this light? And again, you should consider what the sages have been saying. They say, look inside, go within. But what does inside even mean now? You just sit, you close your eyes, you contemplate. And eventually you'll be drawn towards what can only be called your own heart. That is the direction that pulls you in. And you're spiraling towards it like a moth to a flame, deeper and deeper, until you're ready to just give everything up in terms of your identity, in terms of what you thought you are. And in that moment, when the flame consumes the moth, you suddenly realize that you really are the flame, the eternal source of this light. It's shining in you, pouring out, allowing this world to exist, this mental, subjective world. It's built on this very foundation, your own self-luminous nature. And then the moth will seem like it was a dream. Was there ever such a thing as a moth? A person? A human being? Maybe it was only just smoke. And now what is real and truly you is laid bare, self-evident.